Ground Radio. New voices amplified.
Greetings, thank you so much, and welcome to Earground, Your Voices Amplified. My name is Poet.Brand, and welcome to the program that brings you different creatives, different artists in Zimbabwe. And today we're going to hip hop. I'll be speaking to a hip hop artist who has been dropping some of the finest content from Zimbabwe. I've been watching his videos, and I could say hip hop is going somewhere. But he's also one guy who's not shy away from controversy. He has said some things that have set the tongues wagging and people rattling, but we'll be talking more about that. I'm speaking to Arafus. Greetings, David.
With the same data, what's up?
No, I'm
what's,
good.
What's
I'm
good? Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot for taking the time to be on the program. To start with, Arafus, where does that come from? Is that part of your real name?
Arafus is it ndakapiwa na producer, the first guy that produced my music. I'm the Levy Rock. I got a good Town. He was like one of our childhood friends. The Akatanga studio, so he was suggesting my names, and then I picked that up because no one has that name in the whole world, so I wouldn't have problems in my copyrights or someone saying or claiming they have a name already. So that's like a natural name. It's like a being born again.
Wow, it was actually a smart move. I was having a conversation with somebody today about naming, to say, look, you know what? The best is to pick a name that when you search online, you only find one Arafus. And I did that. Searching on Google, it's only one Arafus. But
Yep.
Your childhood, you grew up in Warren Park and then you moved to Stungus.
Yes, I was born in Warren Park at the suburban clinic. No got Warren Park on my shops.
Yes.
At that clinic, I was born in 1994, and I did my grade 1 to grade 3, and then I came to Stungwiza. Then I learned by second 12 kuno kuStungwiza kunonzi ku-O. So most of my time is between Warren Park and Chitungwiza.
Great. But growing up, what sort of music were you listening to? Were you listening to a lot of hip hop?
I grew up on a lot of music because I grew up with my uncle. It's not the Sekuru Vusi. He's like he's my favorite uncle. Like when I was a kid, they played also my records. Blake, you remember the vinyl discs?
Yes.
He used to play me those, so I used to stay at home on the Saranchiri and Dega. So I grew up listening to a lot of music, but I got a hang of R&B and hip hop kuma 2009, 2008. Pangapa kupina na Sean Kingston and Akon and T-Pain. Yes. So I'm like a prodigy of Lil Wayne and the whole of the R&B and urban grooves era, even in Zimbabwe. And I'm a Skiri, and I'm Munetsi, and a Nasty Tricks. I'm a student of urban grooves music, and I respect Vakatanga Nazo. So I'm a learned student of the music from international to the local.
The local scene. Awesome. And so far you've dropped 3 albums.
Yep.
Can you just break down a bit on those 3 albums? What sort of message are you seeing? I've listened to a lot of your videos, a lot of your songs. I can relate to so much of the content. Maybe if you could give us a bit of insight. What message?
I have 3 albums to date. I have 3 EPs.
Okay.
I'd like to think that's correct, and a mixtape. In the 3 albums, I like to take albums as stages in life because my first album is called Shiri Ever Beautiful.
Yes.
It was an album about aspiring to have Shiri Ever Beautiful life. Ever beautiful, opportunities, a life with no stress or depression or, the problems you go through if you grow up in the hood.
Yes.
So to the second album, Kudenga Kure was like a spiritual moment for me because I started learning, and I think it was the time I was experiencing God at an early stage. So I had a concept yekuti kudenga kure in terms of distance, in terms of heart to heart, person to person. So it was a personal album. And last year I dropped an album called God My Therapist. I was going through some stuff at that time. I was going through a decision to stay in the formal sector, going to school because I was at UZ doing economics.
Okay,
So
great.
kumba vane vachiti you should make a decision. Do you want to do school or do you want to do music? And they don't really support music on a serious note. They can say they like it, but if you make it a priority and start doing that only, they would suggest you stop because whenever you would have financial problems and you're getting older.
Yes,
So it was a stage for me to realize the therapist is God, because I was looking for things that could inspire me. And I had made a decision, made up my mind, I'm going to be a musician. If I'm going to use my school, I'm going to use it through being an entrepreneur. I'm not going to work for anyone or be under a system and work for a salary 6 to 6,
yes.
because I won't have time to follow my dreams. So it was a testimony of me, my life changing to, from just making albums to having support. And that came after the album. That's when Gaba got in touch with me. So it's
Yes.
like the albums are prophetic from one stage to the next one to the next one. So I take them as spiritual growth, musical growth and experiences up until now.
Oh, that's quite encouraging. But looking at that period where you needed therapy, did you manage to make that decision? Did you quit school and pursue music, or you completed your university
I
studies?
completed school, but I'm not going to be in a suit or in an office anytime. I would have an office because we are now registered as Gaba, and the active partner the side trying to establish, we have registered it, so I can use that through that business. But I'm definitely not going to go through structures like ekupiwa timetable, schedule, hairstyle, code
Yes.
of code of honor and double standards. So yes, I completed my degree, but that's not, I don't use that as a qualification. I'm working directly to gain music respect.
Oh, great. And talking about your relationship with Zugaba, I've seen a lot of your branding carries the Zugaba brand, and I've also seen you perform at the Zim Hip Hop Rise concert, and you you are practically branded as Zugaba. You've mentioned that you're a partner with this. Can you just give us a bit into what Zugaba is? Is it an online platform? Is it a hip hop stable?
Shigaba is a non-profit organization. It is registered, so it's an organization to help the youth, to empower the youth and help distribute their art so that
Yes.
they can express and be able to have music videos, shows. So I was lucky enough to have a connection with Shigaba at an early stage before it was established in Zimbabwe. I'm sure they were helping artists already, but we were really active by pushing God My Therapist album.
Yes.
Because we released Moto, and we released Siakadaro, the videos from the album through that label. But by then I had a distribution deal. They said they wanted to help me, so they were already a partner in distributing my music. So I was like, I need to, start hustling, get something in the
Yes.
pocket, and so that my mom don't stress that much, and she should know, we can make something out of the music. So they were like, we will make you a brand ambassador for Shigaba,
Great.
and we start to see how it's going to go. So I through hard work and we're still trying to perfect everything this side, but the economy is bad, but
Yes.
we are active. So Shigaba is a very um, interesting platform for me, because it's like a blessing than a business contract, because we still own the music.
Okay.
Tanto Wavy,
Yes.
Kruger, all the artists that are being distributed through Gaba, they own the rights to the music, and we have a distribution deal. So the record label.
Yes.
We also have the clothing line to support the company, and it's also a non-profit organization. That means we're not trying to make profit. We're trying to help each other. As much as I would like to get help from people
Wow,
too.
that's great. And your mother now, does she support what you're working on, what you're doing, or she's still like, oh, you have to go back to the former
She's
self?
really sweet. She's really sweet. Ndakarumurwa. I had a bad boy phase. I was really living out the rapper life. So sometimes I would come home, smelling smoke or alcohol because I was frustrated because she was, against me doing music. And when that happens, the art starts getting frustrated. So
Yes.
you end up just being careless and wanting to show that image so that you can prove, I'm really, really want to do this. There are no options. So I appreciate that she started understanding me at that moment as well when I was going through that phase. But she's been very sweet, and she sent me nice messages
Sweet.
in support. Yeah, she gave me a blessing, so I'm blessed. I think that's very respectful to God and to myself that I can get a blessing from her to do the music thing. So it went from no, 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 no to
Yes.
understanding, because it's from no to understanding. There's never a yes to do risk taking, but we're working on it.
That's great. That's great. I was talking to Ray Vines the other time, and throughout the whole interview, he kept mentioning you. He said, look, on my playlist, I only play Arafus. And if I'm not playing Arafus, I'm playing Arafus. And then I see also you've appeared in some of his skits. And what's the nature of your friendship? Are you business partners, and how did you guys connect together?
We are beyond business partners, because the funny thing is, Zugaba probably doesn't know, but Ray Vine's manager is also like partly my friend and manager. So there are things that I wouldn't be able to handle on the business side that Mufaro can handle. That's the name, yeah, the manager of Mukukuzi, Ray Vine's company.
Okay.
So we're so close that I can get through to Mukukuzi without talking to Ray Vines.
Okay. Wow.
So it's like more of a brother. It's more of a brother, and more than a friend, because I've been to his house. He's been to my house. So the culture in hip hop is more than just being friends and social media, but it's really we spend time together, plan together, and the vision is the same. And crazy enough, he's a big fan of the music. I think he's top three best fans of all time.
Wow.
And I've
That's
been in the
great.
game for a minute.
Wow. That's great. And talking
So
about,
yeah.
yeah, awesome. Talking about the culture, you mentioned the culture. Last year there was the hashtag like for the culture. And do you see the hip hop culture growing in Zimbabwe?
The hip hop culture is big in Zimbabwe. I don't want to lie to you
Uh-huh.
and say doesn't exist, because it's been existing since Anamaskiri, since
Yes.
Tupac, since Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne had hits in Zimbabwe. People know my songs are Lil Wayne, so they were colonized. I wouldn't say it as a bad way, but they you know the mindset here hip hop more from the dressing to the
Yeah.
hairstyles to the lingo to the slang to style. So even on it dancehall, there are a lot of people that are hip hop in dancehall and are Enzo. You can tell by the
Yeah.
hairstyle, you can tell by the slang. So hip hop is bigger than just a music genre, and it's very active. But we had to fix the communication through the music, because people were making songs uh, just to communicate with the hip hop market. But now we're realizing we need to talk to the female market. We need to
Yes.
sell to we need to make corporate music for the clubs, and we need to make radio music for royalties. So
Yes.
it's now a divided attention into putting everything in order. But yeah.
Oh, great. And you come from Shtumbisa, and this is a place where Mr. C. Fatwood Munetsi, these guys come from. Maskiri and several hip hop heads come from She-Town. Do you have a connection to that generation, or you feel that your generation is somehow disconnected to the foundation of hip hop in Zimbabwe?
I would like to think I'm directly connected to Maskiri,
Okay.
because in terms of language and the style to use when you start rapping in Shona, most people took the style from him and Munetsi. So I'm directly connected to Munetsi, Maskiri, and I have a song with Munetsi, the second album, Munetsi and 10 Diamond.
Okay.
So I would like to say that I've been active in the culture since an MC Cheetah, and 10 Diamond,
Yes.
and King Active. So it's like I've been through the times and I'm still here. But yes, of course.
Great. Last year, you were nominated for the Zim Hip Hop Awards. Um, your album got nominated. You also nominated in the best solo, best male act, but apparently you did not get an award. And you took to social media. You were unhappy about it. What's your feeling with regard to awards?
I was unhappy with the awards because I was nominated on my first album. So it wasn't anything new. And if they were closely listening to the music, they would have figured that in my age group, there is no one that writes that type of material. If you're talking maturity, because I don't curse in the music, there's no cursing in the music, there's no nigger in the music. I put that on some of my songs, but I censored that if I'm making a radio song. So I was disappointed because I was representing the artists that didn't have push, that didn't have promotion, that didn't have a sponsor. But I was out there pushing the music with what I could do. So I felt like they were not inspiring everyone else that looked up to me or that was following and looked at me. It was the fans were asking me, "How didn't you win?" Because I had 5, 6 nominations.
Yes.
From 9 nominations, no award winning. So I felt like they don't listen to the music. That's the first thing. Because if they listen to skillsmanship, they would make me win best lyricist, they would make me win best album. But they didn't listen, and I think vanga vainetuma organization kwavo ka hip hop head kavo ka house ka powerhouse kesim hip hop, but we managed to maneuver that because that's a very small system. Zimbabwe is a small country, so
Yeah.
I can't be under a box of a small box yeka genre. So I start making commercial music and moving on my own. So now I don't really mind. I don't care if they like my shit or not. I don't know if the label will submit for me to the awards, because I would think for business it's good to have those items, but I'm not going to the awards and they have to pay me. They will have to pay me to see me the next time. I'm not working. My flesh is not going to the Zimi Pop Awards.
Would you allow your music to be nominated if they put it?
If the business is suggesting so, I would, because my manager is different from last year when I
Okay.
was doing my own thing. I was cocky
Yes.
and hard headed because I was putting my own pocket money to do the music. So unongochine aggression kuti.
Yes.
But now the managers might just say do this and do that. Don't say that. Take that post down, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool to grow, but I won't be disrespected, and my brand is not going to be. If I'm not winning, do not nominate me.
But what of the others that are nominated? Is it automatic that when you get nominated, you have to win? Is that the position that you have?
No, it's about a specific award.
Okay.
Pakanzi Best Male Award.
Yes.
Wakapa King 98.
Uh-huh.
I'll be cool with it because he's really pushing to boundaries and he's already onto the next regional market. So
Yeah.
he's in business, he's progressing. But if you're talking skills, like the best freestyle award, the best
Yes.
newcomer award, the best collaboration, because I had a collaboration out with T Gons and I had a video and we were doing 50,000 views. So
Yes.
we were meeting the demands of those criterias, but they were willing to give those awards to the same person. But any organization of a hip hop measure that does not give uh, credits to the people in an equal manner, they're not encouraging hip hop, because we need hip hop to grow from independent artists to those who are signed, to
Yes.
those who are born rich, to those who don't have. So I was representing someone who didn't have anything, and they didn't see that because they were not listening to the music. So that's my argument. But not everyone should win. You know, I
Yeah.
say I think asking perfect to the last in some aspect, and there's someone's doing it better. So
Great, great. And recently you dropped some new works. You've got a video that came out. I see the quality. You have pushed the level. And I also look at Kruger, the song that he did, the remix, Ginde. The level is really on another level. I think for a very long time we've been saying, look, um, our music is good, but the videos are not really appealing. But now we have it. Uh, what's your feeling with regards to the new content that you guys are making right now? Are you confident about it?
um, we are confident in our brands, because the primary thing that I was saying the last time they asked me, the plan is different for us because we took a long time to get recognition in music. So we were learning other things, and rather than just blowing up and being famous without a business strategy.
Yes.
So besides that, besides people liking our stuff, um, we have a business strategy now as hip hop artists. If I meet with Bev City, we're talking about a tracksuit who's taking a photo shoot. He's getting free tracksuits. He gets stuff, sneakers, get
Yes.
money, post them. So we are improving in every level, even in business. And the content, there are a few number of people that are now bringing good content besides, Takura, who been in the game
Yes.
for a minute. But the new generation is a couple of people that are coming with good content, but it's because now there is distribution partnership, so
Yes.
they're able to get the money. So it's about the money if you're talking quality and content. So it's a few of us right now, and we need more. We need more people. We need to put up more rappers. We need
Yes.
to do more shows together. But yes, I'm very impressed, and I feel like hip hop videos are really good videos now, not comparing to other genres, but just the quality to international, regional level.
Yes. And is there money in hip hop? Do you think there's money or there'll be money in Zimbabwean hip hop?
There's money in everything. I believe, as an entrepreneur,
Yes.
I believe in I believe in getting money through music being a miracle, because then someone contacting you and say I would like to help you is not a certain thing. So
Yes.
I would say on my side I'm a testimony of hip hop giving a livelihood, because I'm actually making a living of hip hop
Awesome.
since last year, I would like to say. But financially, there's still work for us to do to really say we're getting paid in hip hop. But there
Yes.
is money in the game if your brand is clean, if your content is consistent. So it might take 5 years or 7 years, but as an entrepreneur, it's better to make money growing your own brands than to be
Yes.
employed. So yes, it's cool, but we're hoping for better.
Awesome. Awesome. And last week there was a conversation. A lot of activists came online and they were saying artists are supposed to speak about what's happening in Zimbabwe. What's your feeling to that? Some were saying, look, don't put pressure on artists because we're already putting the content that carries the message on anything that is happening in the country, be it social, economic, or political. But what's your sentiment with regard to that?
Ray Vines came to the house days before the 31st, and he
Yeah.
was asking me, "Do you think it's cool, to be active?" And I was saying, I'm not really about the politics because we don't have the protection to go against a system that is the army. So it's
Yes.
already a bad move to try to attack a system that could have been having power over the laws. So, but namuridzira song inonzi Free Zimbabwe because
Yeah.
of art now. I can't lie in the music, and sometimes I write what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing. So I definitely have proactive songs on political issues, but they are subtle. I don't say names of any party. So I stay silent, but I have songs that talk actively about us going through that stuff and being unemployed. So I play my part on my side because I make the music and I speak about it. But I'm not going to risk in becoming activist and just represent that. So for safety reasons, I would say stay safe and know what to say and what not to say. But for art reasons, stay true and say, you can speak how you can speak,
Yes.
put it in art form.
Okay. Great. And 5 years from now, where do we see you?
Um, the main goal is to be a millionaire. Second goal is to be a multi uh, business entrepreneur because we'd like to start clothing,
Yes.
studio. So in 5 years, you would see a different pills in terms of business and corporate relationship because in this we're launching this album that's coming.
Okay.
So we want to get in good books with the corporates and make sure we clean up my profiles. They
Yes.
can be clean for good business. So in 5 years, you're going to see a thousandaire.
Wow. Great. And you're working on a new album. You're saying it's dropping. When can we expect it? When is it dropping?
I wanted to drop it on the 15th on the 25th of August,
Okay.
but pani featuring Rapinda and we had a session now Oskid, so I had to push the date back. So I'm waiting to give a release date early
Okay.
September, but definitely before 15 September the album is coming.
Any
And
any surprises that we should look after?
yes, this one is a heavy project. It's a very good body of work
Okay.
because we have good features and we have good production. And I can just give a hint. Kuti, I have a song
Yes.
with produced by DJ Tamuka
Okay.
and a song produced by Oskid. And both of these songs are features and they feature, some really cool people with a good following. So we want to take over the local market and
Yes.
make sure we can be able to sell products in Zimbabwe. Then the next move is to go regional
Yes.
because there are definitely more numbers in South Africa and Nigeria in terms of
Yes.
demography. So right now I was just focusing on ndimboimbira mashona nemandebele
Yes.
nemakaranga vekuchipingi mandau
Yes. Madam.
muzimbabwe.
But what word would you pass on to a young person who's trying to get into music, be they hip hop, dance, or whatever genre they're interested in?
Follow your calling. uh, it's hard to defend and take risk for something that you're not called for. I
Yes.
personally, I have a calling for music, so doesn't matter if I wake up somewhere with something nice. I still like to make music. So if someone invests in me, it's a guarantee I'll make music because that's how I live and that's how I relieve stress and spread a message. So you need to pick one thing you're the best at, perfect it,
Yes.
pursue it because that's the gift from God. So recognize your gift from God and you have passion or for something you're doing, you make it work.
Uh, have passion for what you do and make it work, not Java. And stay true to your grind.
Stay true to your grind.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Penny. It's been awesome. I really enjoyed the conversation. And I must say, um, just speaking to you, I'm realizing that you are so much researched I don't know what kind of material you read. What sort of books do you read?
This internet-based era, but I must say I'm a good reader. I'm not really a thorough reader,
Okay.
but I research and watch interviews and read business. So I would like to encourage people to read more, watch interviews about business and entrepreneurship, because you need to learn how to sell, markets, just books. There's network business studies.
Yes.
That's why people get signed and their money is stolen, because they don't know the procedures of business, ownership, control. So if you can self-learn. You don't have to be in school to be educated. You can self-educate yourself.
Self-educate, learn, and get as much info about business as much as you can. Powerful words, and thank you so much, Arafus. I really appreciate your time. But it would be said if we end the conversation without even just a snippet, even 30 seconds freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared about that.
I
wasn't
thought all
prepared. Let
rappers
me
are
look
like
for
a born prepared.
Tinga patik machim panik indo hit DJ padik naimbo gaira ma gangster now that gangster. I made mistakes, but then I'm back. Manzwani kuona tsuka zangu pares.
Nice. Wow, thank you so much, Arafus. I really appreciate it. And thanks a lot to your management and to Gaba for making this connection possible. I really appreciate that plug. And
Thank
thanks,
you.
sir. Thanks a lot.
Thanks to the Earground fam
Thanks,
for
sir.
having me. Let's do this next time.
Awesome. So thank you so much to everybody who's been watching. My name is Poet.Brand. I've been speaking there to one of the finest hip hop artists that we have in Zim. He's doing super fine. You should check out his content online. His videos are on fire. I really enjoy them. And stay tuned to Earground New Voice Amplified. I'm out.
Bless.
Earground Radio. New voices amplified.